Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Offstage Talks. I'm Sandra Działszwili, and today we're joined by renowned Polish photographer who has spent the last decade documenting the heart of our region. Based in Tbilisi, Georgia, she has worked with publications ranging from National Geographic, Le Monde, and New York Times, and many others. Her large list of awards she received includes an award for Best Photographic News Reporting from Abroad published in any medium, given to her by Overseas Press Club of America for her work done in Ukraine in 2022. Please welcome Justyna Mielnikiewicz.
Thank you for introduction.
Welcome, Justyna. And first of all, you have been living in Georgia for quite a while and you know the culture well. How different has this festival been? Have you found out anything new about Georgia during the festival?
It's like I knew there's a lot of creativity, a lot of talent in Georgia. And over the years, I watched it in photography, in film. But, I also didn't realize then Georgians are like, so many Georgians works in Berlin in advertising companies across the world. So it was quite new, but not surprising.
The most important part of your work is devoted to long-term personal projects published as photo books, right? Such as Woman with a Monkey and Ukraine Runs Through It. What is the biggest challenge in staying creatively inspired and committed to a single project throughout the years? How does this kind of long-term projects differ from your work in publications like Wall Street Journal?
With long-term projects, it's a quite schizophrenic thing because on one hand, it's terrible to proceed and to have it happen every day. Because you have to think every day for Caucasus project 10 years, for Ukraine project 5 years. It's like, does even anybody know needs it, When you do the assignment, when you do the work for hire, which is going to be in a paper tomorrow after tomorrow, the kind of connection between why you're doing this for what, it's pretty straightforward. With these long-term projects, it's it's like a difference on a sprint and a long run. Then you just think you're gonna die. You cannot take it anymore. And it's like, when is the second wind is gonna come? It's gonna come, endorphins are gonna kick. Finally they do. So it's a longer term project. And it's a lot of ups and downs. And you just have to survive it and keep doing, because I'm very, very strong on not trusting your doubts, because many of us are made of doubts. Many of us are made of thinking who needs what we have to say or show or share. We are, especially art people, we are master of self-sabotaging. So imagine dealing with that over 10 years or 5 years. But it's a process, I think. It's a process, and long-term projects also give you back a sense. Then, work for hire, it's like, well, they call me, oh, this editor likes me, or this one doesn't like me, or this or that. Long-term project is like your own child, It's your responsibility to bring it up, bring it out, push it out from the house, and make sure that the world says like, wow, what a smart child.
Yeah, and I guess it's more passionate when it's for yourself, right?
And what makes difference me and many other talented photographers, it's like I always have something to say personal with this project. So I was just not running from A to B to C, hired. So, people doing amazing stuff. But at the end, I had some personal saying, some individual take on things. And my projects are really abstract, like Ukraine and the river Dnipro in 2008. People were like looking at me like, what are you talking about? And like, look now the war is focusing on the river because, I follow the news from this side and this side. I had a pretty good sense of how these other sides are thinking. So yeah, it's a fascinating process because the process of also a discovery of a topic, meeting new people, getting new angles, deeper understanding for yourself first.
Thank you for that answer. Uh, there is this famous observer's effect in science, which is mostly basically says that when you observe something, it changes its state. How does this apply to documentary journalism? Does this observer's effect, where the act of observation changes the object's reality, apply to your work? And in this age of mistrust towards medias, does objective journalism even if it exists, or is it simply defined by trust of the audience towards the photographer or the medium who delivers the message?
So the first question, yeah, like we consider art being something ephemeral, not physical. And going back to this quantum physics thing you mentioned, uh, yeah, when you really think about this, we are all made of atoms. We human made of water, and I think we part of the bigger. I think humanity, in some points, kind of separated. There was a rational mind and there was a body, and really, in the modern times, there's more and more talks, and those two things are part of one, essentially. Yeah, so in a very physical level, when I photograph, when I wake up in the morning and I feel confident and rested and secure of myself, everybody agrees to be photographs. But when I wake up in the morning and I feel tired or when I'm ill, so I have a doubt if I can perform physically, people feel it. People feel it and people don't trust me because they feel some kind of, the energy is not so flawless like on the good days. So it definitely is the physical aspect of, but I think you ask more about metaphorical way of changing, but I think that would fit it more into the second part of the question about objectivity. As I said today on a stage, I think objectivity is a tool and the commitment of a documentary photographer. But in reality, we are subjective. We are using our emotions, our experiences, even a good day or bad day, depending on that, choosing people, the way we talk with them, how much information we gather, and distrust of modern times, of the audience, you said. I think there's something also very organic. If I manage to get the trust of people I photograph, and in my photographs, there's a lot of eye contact, direct look into the camera, which at that moment is me. And if I can capture this trust in contact with my subjects, somehow, and I also have seen it, people trust me, then this is the story I'm telling of these people. So I somehow become very visible with this definite eye contact, but in the same time invisible because I become a kind of medium through which these people, when I photograph, look at the audience. Distrust, I don't think we live in a particular time of more distrust than ever. There is just, we are being offered much more truths and lies today because so many more channels are bombarding us with those ideas of what's true, what's lie.
And maybe we could say that this mistrust became more visible through
I think we
social
become,
media.
I would say we are more lost
Yeah.
in a sea of information. And yeah, if you are lost, you don't trust anymore your judgments. A lot of propagandas, fake news works specifically on that, not to tell you the lie, but to undermine your belief that truth exists. And it's a very tricky thing. So yeah, I don't think we trust it because I don't see in a normal life between people, if it was such a massive virus of distrust, I think you would see in a personal relationship with people, with friends and family, then it will trickle there too, but it really doesn't. So I think it's certain surface we are having a time to deal with and find a solution how to organize it better so it's not so overwhelming.
And did you specialize in documenting geopolitical dynamics? and transformation in Central, Eastern Europe, the Caucasus, and Ukraine. Your work in Ukraine was awarded by the Overseas Press Club of America. How do you find such human stories in such large, complex political events? How do you choose your objects of your photography?
How do I choose? Yeah, there's a like when I'm not on the location, I read, I follow the news, and I find some people which I found for whatever reason, there could be different reason, what they say, what they did, how they look even, uh, to interesting to include in my project so I can contact them on distance. Nowadays it's possible setup. And all the rest in between is a improvisation, So I can meet people in a bus. I was in Mariupol and I meet the priest in Mariupol in 2015, which had the pin with Ukrainian flag. Not many people had it in Mariupol. So what I do, I go to him and I talk to him, and turns out that his wife is of Polish roots. So it's no. So next day I'm in his church. He just had the foundation and first baptizing, and the just foundation of the church. So this is how I do. I really approach people, whoever interests me. I search for people. I have no problem in this regard to contact people and get into conversation. And it's also very simple.
Yeah, basically, it's like research, and getting in depth, right? Following
Research,
the
and just like walking around
yeah,
with camera, hard and eyes open.
yeah. You have won many prestigious awards such as World Press Photo and Eugene Smith Memorial
Pound.
Fund. Yeah. And in your opinion, what makes a photograph truly powerful and memorable? Is there a way to put it in words?
Commitment. I think commitment. I personally like silence. I call my photographs, they're about nothing. I don't like flashy compositions. I mean, it's not like I don't like, I never think about composition. Essentially, I think it's if you approach photography and you have to learn composition, just drop it, It's something you should feel. So you can fill the frame with emotions, with real people, with mood, which are somewhere else than in the combination of corners, lights, and all these things. You have to feel the light. I mean, it's like we all know it. Photography is a light. It's like we take photos, oh, they're so terrible. And you look around, there's no sun. But the sun hits and suddenly everything looks more interesting. It's like a stage. Sunlight in photography makes a life.
For those who weren't able to attend your talk and the festival this year, what advice would you give them about creativity, and why should they try to get to the festival next year?
I'm not sure if you're having live those talks, but I finished my talk with the story. Then this is the second festival in a row at Black Sea Festival of the industry of advertisement, which is not my industry, photography. So I only was going for photographic festival. Before you, I was in Poland in a literary festival. And I was for 3 days hanging with poets, writers, and their friends and translators, like amazing stories I've heard. So I think in a modern world, which we are more and more pushes us through the social media and also into the very limited boxes, actually. We might feel that they're great and endless, but they're really limited. We, I think, have to meet each other in person. It's very important, very inspiring. And we have to also go out of our industry boxes. And actually, a lot of festivals start merging different, including different, I would say, profession within there. It's not so homogeneous anymore, which I think is great because for me personally, it was inspiring being on two festivals, one for writers and the other for, because when you go for your own industry festival, you're networking, you're thinking, I should meet, la la la, tra la la, oh, this person I didn't see in 10 years. But in this kind of thing, you just fully focus on what people have actually to say, and they say different things than you are used to. So I think it's really amazing. The quality of your speakers is really great, very diverse. And for me, I found it very inspiring and very interesting to be here.
Thank you for joining us and being the speaker at Black Sea. This was Justyna Mielnikiewicz.